Hey, everybody, welcome to Impact to Millions. And this is our podcast, and I'm so excited to be here. You know, I'm Shannon Posh Anderson, and today I have my daughter with me, Shania. Hey.
Hey everybody, how are you?
Yeah, so she's going to be tag teaming with me today. So, Impact to Millions, guys, you know, this is why I help speakers, authors, coaches, business people really scale their businesses to the next level. So, I'm very excited to be here. So, this is the brand new year, and oh my gosh, it's already feeling much better. Because
It
last year
is.
it was a struggle last year.
It was a struggle for everybody. I think everyone's really excited to start the new year for sure.
Absolutely. I don't know. I think it was an energy. I think it was something going on. And you know, I'm really tapped into like energetic things and spiritual things. And I
Hmm.
think that a lot of what was going around is the dying of the old version of ourselves.
Hmm.
And so when the old version of yourself is dying off, you feel like you're dying.
That is
Like,
so true because even when, during that process, I was just like feeling like sluggish and it's just like,
mhm.
oh my gosh, what am I doing with my life? Just felt really irritated, like in my spirit. I'm like, some things just have to change, like
Mhm.
change for the better. It's time to evolve.
It's time to evolve.
Yeah.
Right. And so now I think that 2024 is the year of evolution.
Yes.
Right. And so it's starting off to a great start. And I want to talk about today because, you know, we went to church for New Year's.
Yes, that was amazing. I absolutely loved it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And so his word, the pastor's word was make this your supernatural year.
Yeah.
And so I just want to start it off with that. I want to bless you guys with what my pastor said. Very anointed man of God. And I've been under him for about 6 to 7 years now. And he's completely changed my life in the way that I think about things. And so I'm going to give you 3 tips to having your supernatural life. You guys know that I dropped my new ebook, Your Best Year Yet. So make sure you go and get that. And I'm going to show you how you can get that a little bit later on. So I'm going to show you guys how to make this your best year yet. And by doing it the supernatural way, huh?
Exactly. Going to different dimensions. Yes.
Yes. And you know what I love about doing it supernaturally is you don't have to work so hard.
Mm-mm.
I'm so serious. So it's already starting. My son, who actually works in Seattle for a major corporation, said that recently one of the superintendents just walked up to him out of nowhere and was like, "Hey, I'm thinking about maybe I should make you a manager."
What?
Supernatural. Yes. So
Really?
I'll tell you about your brother a little bit later on. And so come to find out that they're one of the few blacks in the whole corporation.
Hmm.
He made it up to an executive position, and he said that he used to be the janitor for 15 years.
Really?
For 15 years, and then there was another black executive who saw him and said, "You know what? You've been here for 15 years. I want to help you out. I see that you're working really, really hard." And he made him an executive.
From janitor to executive?
Supernatural.
What? Oh my God, that is so cool.
That is amazing,
Yeah.
right? And so now your brother was just walking down the hallway, and this same janitor who went to executive saw your brother and was like, "You remind me of the younger version of myself." He was like, "It looks like you're cut from the same cloth." So they started having a conversation, and he was like,
Uh-huh.
"Maybe I'll move you up to management, not executive, because he ain't ready for all that. He's
Yeah.
only 20. He's only 24. No, 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 or 23. What is he? 23?
23.
Yeah, so he's not ready for executive, but he was like, I think I would want to put you in a management position. And so he didn't have to work for it. He didn't have to search for it. He didn't even know. He knew that that was what he wanted in his heart. And so that's why I'm telling you guys the supernatural, like once God plants something in your heart that you know is yours, he will just send the people to you. And people don't believe that, but it is so real. You can literally walk into your best life and God will just send angels to you and make it happen.
That's insane. That is crazy. Like literally he was just
Hmm.
walking like
Down
like
the
down
down
the
the
hall, like
hallway.
doing his job and it's just like boom. Here you
Yep,
go. Here's an opportunity. Are you gonna take it?
absolutely. What God has for you, God has for you. And when he feels like you're ready, and I'm going to talk about that too, a lot of us keep ourselves from the blessing.
Come on, move your hair.
A lot of us keep ourselves from the blessing. So we don't believe enough. We don't have enough faith. We keep telling God, I'm not good enough. We keep telling God, oh, I'm not ready. We keep telling God, oh, no, that's so scary. And God is like, well, what else do you want me to do?
I know. It's just like that's kind of the same thing with me though. Like I'm learning how to have like more faith in myself, like more faith in him and things like that. And when he tells me to do something, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm good enough to do that. Like
Yeah, so that's the comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
And so I think all of 2023, God was really pushing us out of our comfort zone.
For sure. I was so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
For the longest. I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, Jesus, fine. Fine, I'll do it. Fine.
Yes. So he's like, you've got to push, 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 and push forward. You got to finally just jump and believe and have a mustard seed of faith. Isn't that awesome? God says we only need a mustard seed of faith.
And you know how small a mustard seed is?
Exactly.
It's super small. And then they grow into like the largest trees, like
Exactly.
in the world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so many people don't even have a mustard seed. So people, if you want to get unstuck, you have got to release your faith. Faith is a part of the success walk. You will never meet a highly successful person or anyone who's ever succeeded in anything that did not have faith. Faith is going to be the first thing that you need to establish.
That's facts.
All right. So yeah, your brother, you know how he is. He really believes in himself. Like
He do like he has like the ultra confidence. I'm like I actually kind of admired that because like he really believes he can do it. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do it.
yeah,
And watch me do it.
and he does it,
He does. I'm
and
like,
he attracts it.
he does. I'm like, okay, little brother, I applaud you for that. I do. I need to get more like him. You know,
Mhm.
that's crazy because he's living in his best life.
Yeah,
At su-
exactly.
at such a young age. So I'm just like, yeah.
And it can happen. It can happen for you. It's, God has it for all of us. Even sinners reap the benefits of just jumping and having faith. They ultimately crash.
Crash and burn.
They ultimately crash and burn, but I mean, they still jump out of their comfort zone, And so, because success is not a default system, it's not something that we naturally feel. It's something that we have to kind of push ourselves into and train ourselves to believe,
Right.
right? And especially if you don't come from an environment, you don't have parents who are pushing you and giving you the things that you need. It can be it can be really hard, but you have to be responsible for yourself. 2024 is all about accountability. No more what my mama did, no more what my daddy did, no more what my ex-husband, my ex-wife did. None of that stuff matters. At the end of the day, you're going to have to be accountable for yourself and you're going to have to do the work.
That's true because they end up living their own lives and doing their own thing, and you're just stuck.
Mhm.
Just like, no, I don't want to do that.
Right.
Forget that. I'm gonna sit here and grow and be like the best person that Jesus wants me to be. So let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm with it. All right. So the number one thing that you need to do is to align with God. All right. So many of us are out of alignment. And I think that was another push that God was doing. He was aligning us, and alignment hurts. It's a painful process because he is like pruning you and he's like pushing you and like forcing all of that other stuff out of you. And you're like, oh, it's like the witch from the Wizard of Oz. I'm melting. And I think so many people had meltdowns in 2023.
Yeah, and then they're just like mad at life, and then it's just like, dang, I gotta change something. Like you get tired.
Mm-hmm.
You get really tired of like doing like the same thing all the time. And it's just like when you do the same things and expect different results, you kind of go insane.
That's the definition of insanity.
Yeah, basically. So I'm like,
all right.
ugh.
So please don't think that you're going to do the same thing and get the same and not get the same result. If you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you're going to get the same result. The definition of insanity is someone who thinks that they can do the same thing and get a different result. Not going to happen.
Exactly.
So it's like, are you sick and tired of being sick and tired?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired?
Yeah, because it's just like even when you brought this opportunity here to do like a mother daughter thing or whatever, the old me would have been like, "Oh no, I'm definitely not doing that." Like, I don't think anyone would care to like hear what I talk about. But I'm just like, no, let's just do it.
And see, you just said it. We block our own blessings.
Yeah.
You know, opportunities will come our way. The right people will come our way, and we'll say, "Oh, I don't have the time. Oh, I don't have the money. Oh, I don't think I can do it." And God is like, "Well, where's your faith?"
Exactly.
Right? So even when I launched my book in 2017,
Yeah.
you know, we were just homeless in 2014.
We were.
2015, I was in a car accident that killed my manager. 2016, God told me to write the book. 2017, I released the book, and I was still like, why in the world am I writing this book? Who is going to listen to me?
Really? It kind of seemed like you were always just so excited to write it, you know?
I was excited to write it, but putting it out in the market is completely different.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
You know, because you know, you're afraid of being judged. You're afraid of what other people are going to say. You're afraid of your family. You know?
Oh, yeah, because everything is going in the book. And it's like they're going to know all their business. It's just like, oh, no.
And your family members, they get upset.
Yep.
And it causes a rift. And so I just want to speak to anyone, especially those who want to write their book, because, you know, that's what I help people to do. That's going to happen. But your family and your friends are not your assignments. And that's what I'm telling y'all. Y'all got to get aligned with the assignment.
Yeah.
Your family and friends are not your assignment. The people who need you are not related to you 9 times out of 10. And so had I not written the book, like when I wrote the book, it changed our lives.
It did.
Like, because we went from being homeless a few years before that, then I was able to write the book, make the money from that, and then started the coaching company. And then the coaching company made money, and then I started the publishing company, right? And it just kept expanding. I kept adding more and more clients and clients and clients. Before you know it, I had published hundreds of people in just like 3 years, you know, and it changed our lives. We moved, we traveled. We bossed up.
Like, it was amazing. I'm like, this exposure right here is everything. Like, I love it.
Exactly. So, y'all, if I would have been like, oh, who's going to read my book? Nobody's going to listen to me. And when I knew that God was telling me to write the book, when I knew that that was part of my purpose, we'd have still been stuck, girl.
Who knows what we would have been doing right now? Can you imagine what we'll be doing right now?
I don't want to. I don't want to. You know, those were hard times. I was pushing myself out of depression.
Yeah.
That car accident really traumatized me. Like, I really watched him take his last breath.
Yeah.
You know, all the organs in his body was crushed. You know, and he was somebody that I knew, someone that I loved. So that was very traumatizing. I could have literally gone in a downward spiral, and nobody would have blamed me.
Yeah.
You know, I could have easily been like, I can't get out of the bed. I'm so depressed. This is it. Life is over. You know, and people would not have blamed me. They would have been like, that's a lot to deal with.
Yeah, because like even after that happened, like I don't remember you being down for too long, you know. Like I know you were still like going like through the grieving process, but you still like got up and pushed along.
I had to, you know, I still had 3 kids, you know, I still had to make sure y'all were okay, because what happens to me happens to y'all.
Right.
And so I just really wanted to set the example. And when God told me to go ahead and write the book, I was just like, I'm just going to write the book, you know? So that's the first thing, y'all. Get in alignment with your assignment.
Yes.
All right. Number 2, collaboration with God is everything, especially in 2024. You got to collaborate with him.
That's true. Like asking him like what he wants you to do, things like that.
Getting the strategies.
Yeah.
Honey, God would download a whole strategy. That's why I keep journals by my bed, pens by my bed. I wake up in the middle of the night praying. He'll wake me up praying, and he'll download a whole strategy. Even this right here was a download.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like me and you?
Yeah, and just doing the whole podcast period, and really just helping people at a higher level. He was like, you got to go bigger, daughter.
Mm.
You got to go bigger, daughter. He's like, I know you thought you did something, you made a few $100,000 online, you did some stuff. But he was like, girl, it's way more. Like, you haven't even scratched the surface,
Yeah.
you know? And so that's another thing. I was like, but I'm comfortable here, I have clients. My business is still booming. I'm in the background. I don't necessarily have to be seen too much. And then guess what?
It stopped.
The business started drying up.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute. And so that part, I know that it's still coming back because I still have clients that are, coming back and everything. But I did kind of put that to the side because I was like, let me focus on what it is that you want me to do to go bigger so that I can publish more people, so that I can speak more, so that I can really live out my purpose and create the biggest impact possible. So then God was like, all right, do the TV show.
Oh yeah, it's just like if for so long you always try to push yourself to the back, and I'm like, no, Ma, you meant to be in the front. Like, what are you doing? Like, that's not even your personality.
I know. I was like, I just want to hide behind my clients.
No, Ma.
They're so great. And God was like, oh my gosh, girl, do the TV show. So we did the TV show. I brought on a few of my clients. So that's launching. Then I'm launching a TV network. God is like, go on and launch a whole network. I'm like, what? You want me to launch a whole TV network?
I mean,
who does that?
I know you just can't help but to be speechless. It's just like he'll see you like different signs. Like when you start doubting yourself, he starts sending you like different signs, like through different people. It's just like, do it,
Yeah.
Like, I'm telling you to do it. Like, go ahead.
And it's so crazy because even though it sounds so colossal to you, when God is in it, he makes it so easy to do. Till it's almost like, that's it? All I had to do was believe.
That was all that was to it. Like, oh, that wasn't so bad after all.
After all. And a lot of us stay stuck because we think it's going to be so much worse than what it actually is. But when we do it, we're like, that's what I was afraid of? All this time?
Yeah.
Like, even you now, like, this is what you were afraid of?
Yeah, to be honest with you.
It's like,
we're here. We're actually doing it. It's just like I feel comfortable doing it. I'm like, oh, okay.
Right. Like, I see your eyes lighting up.
Yeah. This is actually pretty cool. I like it. I can do this forever.
See?
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. So we've got to collaborate with God. I don't care how big it sounds. God is going to give you big visions. We serve a big God. Y'all got to stop thinking that God is like, oh, go and do the small thing. Honey, God is going to give you a vision so big, it's going to terrify you, but it's supposed to because he knows in order for it to happen, you got to collaborate with him.
That's true, because you always tell me, like, if your dreams, like, if you're not scared, you're dreaming. Shaking in your boots.
Shaking in your boots at the vision and the dreams that God is giving you. Because he's like, with me, all things are possible. All right. So that's number 2. Collaborate with God. Number 3, my favorite, don't put God in a box.
So many people do that. I used to do that too. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, why do people do that? Yeah,
it's like you expect for God to give you the same thing you would think for yourself.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he created the universe, crying out loud. Like, what are we doing?
Y'all out here asking God for rent money. It's like, if I'm going to ask God for something, I'm asking God for the whole building.
Exactly.
That's the God that we serve. He's like, stop asking me for small stuff. 2024, it's all about going big. We're going big this year.
Exactly.
Ask me for the big stuff. He said, you don't have because you don't ask. Y'all know this Bible backwards and forwards. Y'all, my people, y'all know the Bible's backwards and forwards, but you don't do the work that it says in the Bible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, people ask for certain things and then they just sit there. Like, they treat God like he's a genie or something like that. It's just like, no, you have to meet him halfway.
Yes. They're like, I'm just waiting on God. You're not waiting on God. God is waiting on you. God is waiting on you. He already got the person at the bank. You haven't put together the plan. So the person from the bank just supposed to assume that you got a business and knock on your door and give it to you? He already got your husband.
Right.
But you won't go out and go nowhere. You too busy, on Saturday nights or whatever. On the couch watching your favorite TV show. I don't have time, I'm watching my show. Well, what he supposed to do? Knock on your door?
That's ideal, but
It's ideal, but it ain't happening.
I know.
Right? So we've got to collaborate with God, and we have got to stop boxing him in. We serve a B-I-G God. God is going to blow your mind if you let him. If you let him. All right? So I'm going to recap, just in case y'all didn't catch it. All right? Number 1, get in alignment with your assignment. Pray for discernment. Pray for understanding. Get aligned. All right? Number 2, collaborate with God. Okay? Collaborate with God. You and God building this business, building whatever it is, building your dream together. And number 3, don't put him in a box. It's not going to show up the way you think it's going to show up. It's not going to show up the way you think it's going to show up. I'm going to keep saying that. It's not going to show up the way you think it's going to show up. What we have in our heads, I would have never imagined God would have sent me this route. Ever.
I know.
Never in a million years would I thought that my life would go this way. None of this stuff has ever even been on my radar. I always knew that I would write a book. I always knew that I would turn a book into film or, turn my story into film. I always knew that.
Yeah.
I just didn't know how. But I never knew that he would tell me to do television. I never knew that he would tell me to coach other people. I never knew that he would tell me to be a publisher. And I never knew he would tell me to start a TV network.
I know, out of all things,
Like, what? So don't put God in a box, all right? So make sure that you go to impactttomillions.com. Make sure you sign up for the membership. Make sure that you go and also go to I Am Shannon Anderson on YouTube. And there you will find the Impact to Millions podcast. All right. And Shania, tell them how to follow you.
Well, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Black Girl Introverts.
With an S.
Yeah, with the S.
Yeah, she has an amazing platform where she's teaching young Black introverted women how to strive and live their best lives. I love it.
Exactly. And to truly be confident within ourselves,
Absolutely. My millennials.
Yeah.
So go to impactttomillions.com. There you can find out all the information. Join the membership, join the community, watch us on YouTube. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.